Are you a Jeep enthusiast? Or maybe you're a concours elegant? Or maybe you just want to fix your damn Jeep? Well, hang tight, guys. We got a great episode and we got all the information you're gonna need.
Ray, I am the janitor.
Ray, the steering column repair guy.
Testing and fixing that.
Coffee conversation. I'm a Jeep philanthropist.
Pradas.
Hey guys, Drew here from Dead Jeep. Welcome back to another segment, Who We Are and What We Do. I'm hanging out in the lower lot today with John, and he's going to have some tips and some tricks on how to fix our D-tent rods on our shift. So hang tight, we've got a great episode for you. Fingers crossed, we'll get Ray to come in and talk about the J10 trucks and what's going on.
Alright, so today we're going to repair the 03 to 06 TJ D-tent rod for the floor shifter. And the problem is usually the top piece breaks off on these and people try and drill them out and that doesn't work. So what we came up with is we take an old Cherokee from 83 to 01 and we break it off at the bottom, snip it off so that the ball is there, snip it off so that the shaft is there, drill the ball and then glue it into place so that when I put it back in here, everything is on a downward motion, so it'll never pull apart because the T-handle is holding it down and in, the spring is returning it, so it's a permanent fix and it'll always come back every time.
Alright. Let's talk about this one first. So this is one of the J trucks we got brought up here from Illinois. This is it's a 79, but it's not. But it's originally was a 79 short bed Golden Eagle Levi edition J10. At some point in time, I think about 10 years ago, someone was going like, this is before Jeeps started really catching on and getting bigger. So they were making it more like a hot rod, like a glider type of ride. Stainless steel side pipes, old school 3-spoke mags. They took all the Golden Eagle decals off, and they were just making it kind of, like I said, like a glider. So they managed it back in the day, because I don't know if you find one now. They managed to get a NOS, which is dealer new old stock NOS short bed with the tailgate. That's brand spanking new. You know, they did a decent job installing it. Most of the body work, they did a very decent job on this. So they got an NOS bed, NOS tailgate. I don't think the cab was NOS. I really haven't looked at it that much yet, but this isn't the original cab for the 79 because it doesn't have the visor here. There's a metal visor that's part of the cab that comes out that overhangs the windshield like 5 inches or so, 4 or 5 inches. And because this doesn't have that visor, it's definitely not a 79. Probably, well, it has to be 81 up, but I think it's newer than that. If they did replace the cab, I just really don't know because I really haven't dug into it deep. The blue looks a little off, it's a little dark, but then again, I've never seen one of these with fresh paint. They painted everything inside because that's definitely darker than it should be. They did a good job. I don't know about the painted black column. They got seats. They look like they're redone. It doesn't look like it was redone with NOS fabric. The fabric doesn't look right. but I'm gonna still check into it. It's definitely not the right fabric. It's too soft. It's got Levi buttons, but they did a nice job all like body work wise on it. They did a chip guard. They put a nice chip guard, which isn't factory, so someone else would have done it, and they painted the chip guard. All that was done nice. It wasn't running. They got a 360 out of an Ambassador. So the problem was the pulleys weren't lining up right. Nothing was really set right, and they put it all together with washers and whatnot. So we've been spending more time in the engine compartment getting the pulleys and everything set. So it actually looks like it's supposed to be. It's not, you know, someone will come in here and be like, that bushing there is not factory, that bushing there is not factory. There's a bushing here which doesn't belong. So someone might be like, that bushing doesn't belong, but we're not trying to put it back original. We just didn't want stacked washers, because stacked washers is just ruins the job. So what we're gonna do with this one, we're gonna take, because it's a 79, it's not supposed to have the rhino nose. That's what they call this, I guess. So it's a really nice piece, but it's all coming off, and we're putting the what they call, I believe, the razor grill on this, which we should have a couple of them, so I'm not too worried about that. And then we're gonna probably replace whatever looks like it needs to be replaced with NOS stuff, because we get a lot of NOS stuff for J trucks. I might take this off, I might not, and put an NOS one on that has the factory like silverish color to it. It's a paint, but it's not. And but we'll see where we go with this, because the main focus with this one is to make it back into a Golden Eagle. Golden Eagle Levi's edition, which will require to get the sticker package. The 79 sticker package, I believe it's 77 through 79, is one of my favorite sticker packages on J trucks, so I'm kind of psyched for that. I actually have the original Golden Eagle rims that came off of this Jeep, so we're going to be getting those powder coated, and there's a black stripe that goes around. No, it's a gold. I got to find out. They put the different stripes on different years. I believe in 79 it was brownish. It's been a while. Then I gotta get somebody drink like 5 beers to put that stripe on, because I notice when people when people redo their you know, Golden Eagles or any of their trucks with that Jeep pinstripe on the rims, they actually make the pinstripe way too nice. It's the worst painted stripe you've ever seen on a rim, and that's the way it came factory. So it looks like whoever did it in the assembly line drank like 3 beers and then, or did a couple shots and then painted the stripe on all the rims. So you can't do them too perfect because it just doesn't look right. So we're gonna put the Golden Eagle rims back on it, and then I don't even know what we're gonna do with it when we're done. But it's a really pretty truck. It has no rust. The motor, like I said, came from an Ambassador, and it only had like 20,000 miles on it, and they still rebuilt it. So they were doing a great job, and then they popped it for like 10 years inside, and then it just sat. So we got it running really good. We had to replace the cob on it. We opted for the Edelbrock as opposed to a factory Jeep cob, because factory Jeep cobs suck, as far as I'm concerned. And then I know people are gonna be like, no, but I'm gonna say, yeah. So that's it. That's the plan with the blue one. So we got it running, we got it driving. Everything seems to be pretty decent. We fixed a couple of noises it was making, and then we just got to assemble it, and we're just going to take our time on it. I got a NOS antenna I'm going to put on it, because this antenna is a little bent and it just kind of doesn't look good. So I got a brand new NOS antenna just sitting on the shelf, so we might as well huck it on there. I actually even have a lot of this NOS, so this one's got a little dent in it, but if I put some NOS chrome on this thing, it's gonna look mint. We gotta fix the back window. It's whoever put the back window in kind of missed it, and see if we can fix that. I mean, we're gonna fix that. So, but that's what we're gonna do with this J truck, this J10, and then we got this thing. What to do with this thing boggles my mind. It's going to be a super hard thing to even put a number on price-wise because it has 8,900 miles on it. It's probably the most untouched J3000 on the planet. Most of the rust came because this also was stored inside, and then it was also used in a mine. And when we got it, all this bare metal was pure bare metal. Like just the paint's worn off of it, and all the rust on it came from us here. So we're gonna figure out what we can do to kind of keep it from rusting any farther. I'm not gonna clear coat it. No, just clear coat it. I'm not gonna clear coat it because I don't want to do anything to it that can't be undone. So we're just gonna try to keep it. It's inside now. It's not popped outside. So we're gonna probably get a nice cover for it, just so it doesn't. We don't get any more rust on it. The mud flaps and the bumper were added probably 30 years ago. Probably when it was brand new, honestly, because just going by the way everything else looks. I believe the 2 front tires are still the original tires. They painted the rims silver. We're gonna see if we can get the silver off. But we're not super worried about that yet. We've been concentrating on getting it running. And so just looking at the engine compartment, so far all I can tell is they changed the positive battery harness. And I'm still up in the air as if that is the original master cylinder cap or they replaced it. But judging by like even how this bag looks brand new, it's not even hard and brittle. Like that could just be the original cap. It just looks that nice. So far all we can tell is they replaced the positive battery terminal. And we got this thing running, it runs good. After they use it in the mine for a while, and then they got a shortened ignition, and they were gonna put some hot rod wiring kit in it, and thank God they didn't. So we're trying to get another J truck, because I just want to put this back as original as possible. And I've never seen such an untouched engine compartment on like a J3000 ever. It's so untouched, it's mind-boggling. There's so many things that I just never knew. It's stupid. People are like regular people who just drive their Jeeps or work on them really don't care. But just things that I find odd, like, you know, the column, you know, was painted and installed, and then they never like put any kind of undercoating on like a lot of they do now on the bottom, because it's still got the original color paint from the inside of the dash on the column. And I just never knew that, because when I get these things, they're all rusty. I never knew, you know, none of the bolts were painted. They just were always rusty. And these little, I don't even know what I would call them. They're little block out pieces for different type of hood latches that they used. And I didn't even know they put pieces of like this cardboard leather material, keep the hole small. I just thought, you know, was what it was. You know, I even think this is the original alternator. You know, Jeep didn't make their own alternators, obviously. I just have to do some research, but I honestly think that's the actual original alternator that came on this J truck. So we're gonna just do very little to it, as little as possible. We're waiting for, no one seems to have a fuel pump for one of these, so I might have one in my NOS pile, which I'm looking for, but till we find that, we didn't cut anything, but we just installed a electric fuel pump for now that we just clip on to get running, just to run it and get the motor running, which we did. This thing runs and drives like it has 8,900 miles on it. The motor is just so ridiculously tight, it's insane. The lifters make a little bit of noise, which is common for a motor sitting for a long time. The springs stay collapsed, and they don't, because they're not collapsing and uncollapsing. And is that what springs do when they, you got the spring and you push it and you collapse it, and then when it comes up, I guess that would be uncollapsing.
Compression, expansion?
Well, but like you collapse it, and then when it comes in, it uncollapses. And but that constant in and out part of, you know, with the up and down on the springs, it's the same thing with leaf springs. If something sits for too long compressed, it doesn't, when you uncompress it, it doesn't
get the full articulation.
It doesn't get because it stayed compressed for so long. It's because it just collapses. It's not as springy as it used to be, and so that's why I think it's barely noticeable. and I think if the hood was shut, most people wouldn't even, it would sound like a perfect running motor. But I can just hear a little bit of ticking, because I'm just so used to what engines sound like that haven't been driven in a while, and so, we'll see how it might work itself out. We'll see what happens there, and but other than that, like it's just insane the condition of this truck. I've seen some with better cabs. They took the inside of the pot because they were going to put the wire harness in it, but overall the inside of it's it's good. It's not as good as the outside of the truck, but the thing about it is it's untouched. Like there's no holes drilled in it anywhere. No one put a radio in it. It's exactly how it was the day it was stamped out. So all that stuff makes this truck just a very unique truck. We're gonna mess around with it for a little while, get it running and driving nice. It actually has the original muffler, but not the original tailpipe. And I threw out a bunch of tailpipes recently, NOS, because I'm the only one who can kind of figure, because there's no part number, so you got to use a little like, I remember what tailpipe looks like. This is from like an old J3000. Maybe, because if you got nothing to go look at right then and there, they all, especially when it's a big pile of them, they all look the same. So I threw them all away, which now I regret, because if I had a J3000, see how nice that door shut? It's pretty nice, huh? This truck is so crazy. It would be nice to have an NOS tailpipe for this. So we're gonna hold off on what we're gonna do with the tailpipe till further notice. I still might have some NOS piping around. I did see a couple pieces. I know I didn't see one small enough to be a tailpipe for this, but I do have the actual exhaust, the muffler. The muffler that fell off this was still there. It's the original muffler, because I know exactly what they look like. And so we're gonna get it running and driving, and then I don't know what. I might send it to an auction, I might not. I might drive it, I might not. I'd hate to not do anything with it, because Jeeps tend to sit here forever. And then I get talked out of them and I make like $100. So we'll see what happens with the J3000. It'd be interesting to see, but we'll see if we can start them up, see how both of them. This thing should start right up. They did put a cam in it. It's cold too. We don't have the choke hooked up yet, so it's just running a tiny bit rough. We're just gonna power up the choke. We haven't done anything electrical on it yet, but it's not freezing cold. So once it warms up a little more, it'll smooth it right out. It's just like I said, it's just the choke wide open, so it's not wide up. And so that's this one.
Sounds pretty ballsy though.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's got a cam in it. I don't know what size cam, and they were making like some glider. I guess is that a hot rod term?
You're asking the wrong guy.
It's not slammed.
It's not slammed.
So we gotta start this one from under the hood. It's wide hot, so the way it'll start. It should start right up. Maybe pump gas, maybe not. That's the fuel pump. I should make sure it's not in gear though. Yeah, we don't want this thing to go flying off the lift into something.
Yeah, especially the guy with the camera.
Yeah, we don't want. Alright, so we're definitely not in gear. We'll just give it a quick tap to make sure. Alright, we're good. Oh, battery's dead. We'll get a jump pad. Oop, look at that. Boom. You would think this was staged, and I'm here to it's a Snap-on. It doesn't say Snap-on, it's Snap. We buy I just really Snap-on Mac, because we do too much work, too many tools get broken. I will not be using Craftsman ever. I have nothing against Craftsman if you're just like getting them for free, or
find them at Lowe's.
Yeah, because I need like a Snap-on. The tolerances, they fit on all my nuts perfectly. They don't strip them. I don't need to strip anything. We do if people saw how much work we actually do here, they would probably be shocked. Let's see, that's the fuel pump making the noise. Give some gas. There's probably no gas in the bowl. Oh, that's still not going. Why is that not going? I must have hit the wire. Hold on, Louie. I knocked the wire off. Oh, here we go. All right. Let's try this again. My fuel pump, where you go? Oh, here we go. All right, try this again. All right, so that's the fuel pump. Might need a little shot of. Let's give it a little shot of something. Then make sure we get the coil plugged in. Is it plugged in? You get used to it. You get used to everything. Let's give it a little shot of fucking something.
Carburetor cleaner.
Yeah, we'll use brake clean. Not good for just cleaning brakes. Did you hear the little tick when it first started? We might be out of gas, or the fuel pump. No, the fuel pump's working. Let me give it a little shot again. But that thing's so rock steady, that motor. It's crazy. Yeah, it'll work itself out. I didn't know if I probably could have pulled the choke on. This one has a mechanical choke because it's from 1967 or 68. We got one small exhaust leak. The ticking's actually gotten much more quieter, so this might work itself out. Actually, it seems like it's pretty much worked itself out. So, that's it. That's just nice 67, 68, J3000. But we just gotta wait. Something shuts off. We got alligator clips everywhere because we're refusing to. We just using alligator clips because we're trying not even to touch any nuts or bolts, and not for any other reason because no one would know if I unloosened it and stuck a wire in there. Just out of principle, because this thing, I've never seen such an untouched J3000 ever. Because this wasn't the type of Jeep that anyone would buy brand new and store it because they knew it would be worth money someday. And I don't even know what it's worth, honestly. It's just so cool because it's so original. So that's what we're trying to keep in the spirit of keeping it as original as possible. We're working on it as little as possible. And we'll just do what we need to do to put it back to the way it's supposed to be, which is very little, and then that's it. So we're going to leave the antenna they added. We're going to leave the bumper they added. The only thing we're going to touch that they did at the mine was try to take the silver off the rims, because I don't know why they painted them silver.
All right.
But other than that, that's the J3000.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Rui.
That concludes our episode for today on tips and tricks with John on how to fix that D-tent rod. If you have any additional questions or any additional information that you might want, send us an email, look us up. We'll be glad to help you guys out. As always, guys, stay safe, keep Jeeping.